Hello friends and Assalamualaikum. Welcome to my channel IBL Designing Developer. My name is Sinshal Beg. I am a full stack developer and graphic designer. Today I will show you how to build one predictive analysis project in data sciences in Python, and I hope you will also enjoy this project of data sciences like you are enjoying my previous project of AI and data sciences. But first of all, you have to just hit the subscribe button. Then after it, you have to also hit the notification bell, from which you will be getting all the notifications of my video when I will be uploading. And from that, it will be also help for you, and it will be also help for me, because from that you will be learning more new things, more new clones, and more new project which I will be uploading in future of other languages, and the previous one also which I have just already uploaded, and the previous languages also. You can check that out also if you want to learn many other languages. Now here we will be just working with our predictive analysis project, which will be just making using data sciences in Python. So for building the project, first of all, you have to just make a file of that. So here I'll be deleting these three files, because like I'm telling you, we don't need that files. Simply I'll be deleting that, or you can also press delete icon from your keyboard to delete. Or here you have to do nothing, just you have to check these both box. Don't uncheck any other box, because if you do that, so it will be given error and it will be not just delete your file. So just press OK now, and you can see your file has been deleted. So here you have to do one thing now. Right click on your Python package, or you can say on your folder. Then I'll be hovering on new. Then when you will be hovering that, so you will be getting many of the like options. You can take many other files on that, like Python package directory. You can also make new scratch file, HTML file, editor, config file, resource bundle. So we are just working with this Python file. So here I'll be making a Python file here. So I'll be just opening, means I'll be just making this Python file. So you have to just give name to your Python file here. So just give the name, like here I'll be just coming, and then when you've done with that things, here I'll be just coming, and then I'll be just giving the name. So we are just building like predictive analysis. So here I'll be writing predictive, or you can also write .py to just save your file. So but you don't have to just write that, because if you write that, it will be automatically save your file there, then also. But if you don't write that, then it will be also save your file automatically. So simply if I press, you can see now your file has been just saved with .py. So I'll be just zoom in so you can see my codes which I'm just writing here. Now here I just make one folder in which I just make one file which I have to link with this, so I can just work with my predictive analysis project here. So now here I'll be just opening this. If I just show you this, and in this I've just make this file. If I show you, so if I just scroll down, then you can see there it is, one file which is called crashnet.py. So here if I just open this file, you can see in this file you will be containing these things which we will be writing in that. So simply I'll be pressing plus icon, because I need these things which is just coming. Now here I'll be just now writing here like from tensor, and here if I do that, so simply you have to just write from tensor, and if I do that here, simply if I move here, so you can see there it is written TensorFlow, and here I'll be writing dot, and if I just move here, you can see there it is written rs dot, and if I just move here, so you can see after it there is written models. And when you've done with that things, I'll be doing one thing now, right here import model. So when you've done with that, simply you have to do one thing now, just I'll be moving here, then I'll be writing that to like from tensor flow again, then I'll be writing dot keras, and here I'll be doing one thing now, just come here, then you can see there it is written layers. So here I'll be writing, so I've just written incorrect spelling, then I'll be writing layers again. So when you've done that, just I'll be doing one thing now, just I'll be coming here writing that to like import, and now here I'll be just importing now another thing. So if I just move here, so here I'll be writing import input, and I'll be writing comma here, then I'll be changing that to like on v20. So if I do that here, so you can see there's written 2D. So here I'll be writing that, then I'll be writing comma again, changing that to like v shape. So when you're done with that, here I'll be just coming underneath, and then I'll be changing that to like from TensorFlow, and here I'll be writing dot keras. So just I'll be writing that, and when you're done with that, here I'll be just coming writing that to like dot layers. So here I'll be writing dot layers, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing import, and here I'll be just moving, and then there it is written batch. So here I'll be writing batch, and I'll be writing n after that, and when you've done that, there is written normalization. So here I'll be writing that. Then if I just move forward, you can see there it is written nothing. So I'll be just coming here again, writing from TensorFlow dot keras again, there I'll be writing. So when you've done with that, before that I'll be closing this, then I'll be writing that, then writing dot again. If I just move to this crashnet.py, you can see now there is written layers again. So here I'll be writing layers, then I'll be importing another thing. If I just move forward, you can see after that we are just importing okay, so here Okay, so it is good. Now you have to just import conf. So here I'll be writing conf 2D, and when you've done with that, here I'll be coming, and then here you have to just write that to like trans. And if I just move, so you can see there it is written transpose. So here I'll be writing that. So simply I'll be coming underneath now. Then you have to just write that to like import from tensor flow again. Then I'll be writing that to like dot keras again. Then I'll be writing dot layers. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing import again. Then if I just move here, so you can see now there is written import flatten. So here I'll be writing import flatten, comma, and here I'll be just moving forward, and then there is written dance. So here I'll be writing that. When you've done that, just you have to come underneath here again. Then here I'll be just doing one thing. I'll be coming here writing that to from tensor flow. Then I'll be just writing that to keras again. So just write that. Then I'll be writing dot here, and if I just move here, you can see now there is written another tag here. So simply you can see that. Okay, so there it is written now like this thing. So here first of all you have to do one thing now for that. If I just move to this predictive now, so there it is written like import, and you have to just import a thing which will be like, if I just move here, you can see there's written nothing. So here we have to import backend. So here write backend, and then if I just move, so you can see there's written escape. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath here. Then I'll be changing that to from TensorFlow dot keras. Then I'll be writing import. So just import here. Then I'll be just moving forward and changing that to like there's keras dot util. So here I'll be writing that. And when you've done that, just I'll be moving after this import here. And if I just come here, you can see there's plot model. So here I'll be writing that. And when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath here, and now here I'll be writing import numpy as np. So just write that. So when you've done with that, like I've telling you, this np is a short form of that. You can just define that here if you want to. Now when you've done with that thing, simply I'll be just now coming underneath here, and then here I'll be doing one thing. Just I'll be writing 3 colons here, because in that I'll be defining my thing which I need to. Then I'll be just coming here. You can see there's an auto encoder for detecting crashes. So here I'll be writing that like auto encoder for detecting, and here if I just move, so you can see there's detecting crashes. And if I just move here, so you can see there it is written other ano, and if I just move, so you can see there's an anomalies. So here I'll be writing, and then I'll be writing full stop here and coming underneath, and here I'll be doing one thing now. Just I'll be writing that to like def means define. Then here I'll be just writing crashnet. So here I'll be writing that, writing this brackets here, and when you've done with that, here I'll be just now coming writing this semicolon here and coming underneath here again. Then I'll be just changing that to like roadmap equal, and here when you've done that, just I'll be coming that to like input, and here I'll be writing shape, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing equal to. And if I just do one thing now, move to this crashnet.py file, and you can see there is 1080 203. So if I write that, you can see now it is perfect. So here I'll be coming writing x equal, then if I just come here, you can see there is con 2d. So here I'll be writing that, then I'll be writing this brackets here, writing that 24, and then I'll be writing comma again, writing that to like kernel size, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing equal to here and changing that to like 5, and here I'll be now writing that to like strides, and here I'll be writing equal to again, changing that to like 2, right here padding now, and then in this padding tag, if I just come here, you can see there is the same. So here I'll be now writing this like bracket means this colon here, then I'll be writing activation, then just write equal to here also, and then you can see there is written review. So here I'll be writing that. So when you've done that, just in that after that we have written roadmap. So here I'll be writing that in this bracket. So here I'll be now coming underneath, then you have to just write x equal batch, and here I'll be changing that to like normalization, and you can see now there is written like this bracket, and in this bracket there is written small x. So here I'll be coming now, and then there is written another tag like x equal, and if I just move here, you can see there is written like conf 2d. So here I'll be writing conf 2d, and here I'll be writing this brackets now, and then there is written 36 kernel size equal, and when you're done with that, here I'll be just moving, and then there is hidden 5 again. So here I'll be writing strides now, which will be equal to, then here simply write padding now, and then here when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like padding save in the string. Then when you've done with that things, here I'll be just coming now writing here like activation. So just write that, and I'll be writing equal to here. So when you've done with that, here I'll be writing reloop. So when you're done with that, now here I'll be doing one thing now, just I'll be coming here writing that to X. So here I'll be just coming underneath and then I'll be just changing that to a tag which should be like X batch normalization again. Then if I just move here, so you can see now there is written this tag again, you have to just write X. Then I'll be just coming and writing that to like equal to here again, and you can see now there's written con 2D. So here I'll be just changing that to like con 2D. Then here I'll be changing that to like another tag. First of all I'll be moving here, then there is written 48 kernel size, and then here I'll be writing 5 comma strides, and here I'll be writing 2 right here like padding. So here I'll be writing that to like padding same in string. Then here I'll be doing one thing, like here I'll be writing like activation. So just write that which should be equal, and here I'll be writing reloop. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing X, and when you've done with that, here I'll be just now coming, and you can see now it is good to go, so you can just work with that. So when you've done with that, here I'll be now coming writing that to like X equal dash normalization, and that I'll be writing this X, and now here I'll be just coming underneath, then I'll be just changing that to like X equal on 2D, and then I'll be just writing this bracket again, then I'll be changing that to 64 kernel size, and here I'll be just now writing that to like kernel size equal 5, and then here I'll be writing strides equal 2. So when you've done that, I'll be writing padding equal same, and here I'll be just writing comma, then changing that to activation. So just I'll be writing that here this should be like in bracket reloop. So when you're done with that, here I'll be now writing that to X. So here I'll be just now coming underneath, and you can see now there is written like X equal batch normalization, and here I'll be writing this bracket and closing that by writing this X. So when you've done with that, here simply just move to this, and you can see then there's written like volume size. So here I'll be now coming, then I'll be changing that to like volume size equal. Then when you've done with that, here I'll be now coming changing that to like K init, and here if I just move, so you can see there is written underscore shape, and in this bracket I'll be writing X. So here I'll be now coming underneath again writing X equal Latin, and here we have done that. So simply I'll be coming writing this bracket and writing this and writing X in that. So here when you've done that, just I'll be writing latent equal. So here I'll be writing A now. So when you've done with that, I'll be just moving forward here and then changing that to like tens, and here I'll be just coming, and you can see there is written 100. So here I'll be writing that, in which I'll be writing X. So here I'll be coming underneath again, changing that to like encoder equal, and here I'll be now coming and writing model, and then I'll be writing this brackets here and writing that to like inputs, and when you've done that, I'll be writing equal to here, changing that to like roadmap, and when you've done that, just I'll be moving here and writing that to like another tag which should be outputs equal, and then if I just move here, so you can see there's latent again. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing comma, then I'll be writing name, and I'll be writing equal encoder. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing that to like latent, and if I just do that, so simply you have to come here, write that to like inputs equal, and when you've done with that things here, you have to do one thing now, just come here, and then I'll be changing that to like input shape. So here I'll be writing, so when you've done with that, here I'll be now writing this tag here, and then I'll be changing that to 100 comma, I'll be just writing, then I'll be just giving space here, and if I just move here, you can see here you have to write equal to, so we can define. So now we have written, so I'll be now coming underneath here, and now when you've done with that, here I'll be writing X equal, then I'll be moving forward here and writing that to like tens, and here I'll be writing these brackets, and then I'll be just coming here, and you can see there's an npm np proud, and when you've done that, just if I move here, so you can see there's an np prod, then I'll be just writing these brackets here, and if I just move here, you can see there's an volume size. So here I'll be writing volume size, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing this brackets here, and here I'll be now changing that to a tag which will be like volume. So here I'll be writing that to like volume size, and here I'll be now going to this crashnet, and here when you've done that, just I'll be now coming here writing square bracket 1, in which I'll be writing this semicolon here. So when you define that all things, here I'll be doing one thing now, in that I'll be just defining another brackets here, in which I'll be just writing here another tag which will be like latex, and here I'll be just doing one thing now, just I'll be coming here, and then I'll be just copying this here, and then I'll be pasting that, after this. So when you've done with that here, simply just move to this crash net, and you can see now there is written another tag which will be just like latent inputs which we have now defined. So here I'll be writing latent inputs, and when you've done that, just I'll be closing that here, and then I'll be coming underneath. And when you've done with that here, I'll be just doing one thing now. I'll be now coming backwards of that, then I'll be writing x equal, and if I just move here, you can see there's written np prompt, so which we have just written, and here we have written that 2 times, so we don't have to just write that. And now if I just write, so here I have to do one thing. So you can see now it is looking good, but it is still having one problem here. So we have defined that here, and we have also defined latent inputs, so it is good now. So when you're done with that here, I'll be doing one thing now. I'll be writing reshape, and here I'll be now writing this brackets here, and then I'll be doing one thing coming here, writing that to like volume size. So here I'll be writing volume size, and when you've done that, just I'll be doing one thing now. Here I'll be just now coming, and then there you can see that in square bracket there is written 1. Then here I'll be just moving forward here, changing that to like volume. So here I'll be writing like volume size 2. So when you've done that, just I'll be moving forward here and then changing that to like volume, and then change that to like volume size 3. So here when you've done with that, here I'll be doing now one thing, like I'll be just coming underneath, and when you've done that, just I'll be now changing that to a tag. First of all, I'll be just coming here, and you can see if I just move to top, so here we have also defined, so here we have to also define same thing. So I'll be doing one thing now. I'll be copying the above one here which we have just written by pressing Ctrl C. Then you have to do one thing now, come underneath, paste that all things which you have just written, then just press 2 enters here. So you can see now we have to just define this outputs, and here I'll be writing outputs equal, and if I just move here, you can see there is still on 2D, then I'll be writing this brackets here, and when you've done that, just I'll be moving here again, then change that to like latent. And here first of all I have to do one thing now. Here there's written 3 now, so just write 3, and I'll be writing comma bracket, and if I just move to here, so you can see in this bracket there's 10 comma 3 again. So when you're done with that, here I'll be now coming, writing that to like activation. So here I'll be writing now equal to, and I'll be writing that to like sig mod. So when you've done that, just I'll be now erasing this, and when you've done with that, here I'll be doing one thing now. Just I'll be coming here, and before that it will be just happen, I'll be erasing this, writing comma now. So you can see now it is just working good. So I'll be just moving forward here, writing here like padding equal same. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming here now, changing and closing that here, then I'll be writing x here, then I'll be just coming underneath, and here I'll be writing decoder equal, and here I'll be just now coming and changing that to a tag which will be like model. So just write here like model, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing brackets, and then I'll be coming here again, change that to like latent put. So here I'll be writing that. Now when you've done that, just I'll be coming here, and you can see there's that outputs now. So here I'll be writing now comma again, and when you've done that, just I'll be writing name equal decoder. So when you've done that all things, here I'll be just now coming underneath here, and then I'll be writing auto encoder. So here I'll be writing, so when you've done that, I'll be writing equal, and here I'll be changing that to a tag which will be like model. Write this bracket here, and then here I'll be just coming and changing that to like roadmap. So just write that, and when you're done with that, here just I'll be coming now and then changing that to like decoder. So just write that, and you can see we have just done with that thing there. Simply when you've done that, just I'll be coming here, writing encoder now again. So when you've done that, just I'll be now coming here again, writing here like roadmap. So when you've done with that, you can see, so here I'll be doing one thing now, just coming here and writing comma name equal, and if I just move here, so you can see there's an auto encoder. So I'll be writing that, then I'll be just coming underneath, and here I'll be doing one thing now, just come here, write written encoder comma, then I'll be just moving forward here, change that to like decoder comma, and then I'll be just moving forward here again, change that to like auto encoder. So when you've done with that, simply I'll be now coming underneath here, and then here I'll be just moving. So you can see we have to define that thing. So here I'll be just coming underneath, and here we have just done that. So simply I'll be now writing like if underscore name, and here I'll be writing this underscore again to just like close that. There I'll be writing main in that. So here right. So when you've done with that, I'll be just moving here, and now here I'll be writing this tag right encoder, and if I just move here, so here you have to just write that to like decoder comma, and then if I just move, so you can see there is written like auto encoder equal, And when you've done that, just I'll be moving here, and then there is written like crash net. So here I'll be writing crash net, and I'll be writing this brackets here, and then I'll be just coming underneath and change that to like encoder dot summary. Then I'll be writing this brackets here, moving to this file now, and you can see there is written line height here equal, and when you've done with that, here I'll be coming and there's written line length. So here I'll be changing that to like line length, which will be like, first of all I'll be coming and you can check that to like 100. Then I'll be coming here writing encoder dot summary, and then I'll be writing here another thing. If I just come here, you can see there's a line height again, means line length. So just I'll be writing line length now, which should be again 100. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath now, and then I'll be writing auto encoder. So just write that to like auto encoder, and if I just move here, so you can see this an auto encoder dot summary. So here I'll be writing, then I'll be writing this brackets here and changing that to like line length. So here I'll be writing line length equal, and when you've done that, just I'll be coming here writing 100. So when you've done with that, here I'll be doing one thing now, just coming here, and you can see there's 10 plot model. So here I'll be writing that to like plot, and here I'll be writing plot model, and then I'll be just moving forward here, writing here like encoder. And when you've done with that, simply I'll be just doing one thing now, writing that to like to file, and here I'll be just moving now and changing that to like equal, and then I'll be writing this colon here, writing that to like crash net here. And when you've done that all things, here I'll be now coming and changing that to like encoder dot png, which is my file. So you can also take any of the file here or picture, you can say. There I'll be writing show shapes, so here I'll be writing that. And when you've done that, just I'll be doing one thing now, coming here again, then I'll be changing that to equal true. So when you've done that, just I'll be now coming underneath here, and here I'll be first of all doing one thing now, just I'll be writing comma here. Then if I just come here, so you can see we have to just write show layer, and here I'll be doing one thing now, coming here again and changing that to like names, and here I'll be just doing one thing now, coming here, and then I'll be writing equal true. So when you've done that all things, here I'll be now just coming and then writing that to like dpi equal, and then here I'll be just writing 200. So when you've done with that, here I'll be now coming and then I'll be just changing that to like plot model, and then here I'll be just now coming underneath, changing that to like decoder, and here I'll be writing comma to file equal, and then I will be just writing this one bracket here and change that to like crash net. So here I'll be writing crash net. Then here I'll be doing one thing, just I'll be coming here, and here I'll be now writing that to like decoder. So just write that. Then I'll be writing dot png, and here when you've done with that thing, there I'll be just doing one thing now, right here show shapes here. So I'll be writing that equal true. Then I'll be writing comma and coming underneath here, and then here I'll be writing show layer, and here I'll be just moving that to like this underscore, writing that to like names equal true. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be doing one thing now, I'll be just moving to this crash net here, and then here I'll be just moving to this predictive.py file, and here I'll be just moving that to like dpi. So here I'll be writing. So now here you can see we have just defined that all things, and now when you've done with that, just I'll be now doing one thing, like if I move to this, and now you can see we have to just define plot model here. So here I'll be now coming, writing that to like plot model, and then here I'll be writing this brackets here, and then I'll be writing that to auto encoder. And when you've done that, just I'll be now doing one thing, like writing comma here, then I'll be just coming, changing that to like to file, and here when you've done with that, here I'll be now coming and then I'll be just changing that to equal to crash net. So here I'll be writing that. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath here, and then I'll be just doing one thing, like I'll be writing auto encoder, and here I'll be just doing one thing, writing comma here, and then moving forward, and then you can see there's .png. So here I'll be writing that. So when you've done with that, here I'll be just now coming, and then I'll be writing show shapes. So just write that, and when you've done that, just write here equal true, then write comma again and come underneath here, and then I'll be just changing that to like show layer, and here I'll be writing names equal true, and then I'll be just writing that to like dpi 200. So just I'll be writing comma here, so we can just remember that. So you can see now it is good here. So you can see we have defined 200. Then with the comma there is an expand nested here. So just I'll be coming, writing here like expand nested. Here I'll be writing simply. Then I'll be writing equal to here, but I'll be not giving any space here. Then I'll be writing true. So now you can see we have just defined that things. Now I will be just coming, and you can see now it is good. So we have defined that all things. Now now I'll be just doing one thing, like I'll be moving to this, and then I'll be just moving, taking this direct keys.py file here and checking that to my PyCharm text editor. And you can see now this file is now coming. Now I'll be just pressing this plus icon here because I have to just open this, and you can see now this import things has been just opened. And here for doing that, first of all you have to just come here, then you have to just do one thing like import, and then I'll be zoom in so you can see. So here you have to just come, you can see you have to import C, and if I just come you can see CT types here you have to import. So here you have to import another thing like import, then there is the time. So when you've done that, just I'll be going down enough, then here I'll be just coming underneath here, and when you're done with that, I'll be doing one thing, just I'll be coming here and changing that to like sand input. So here I'll be writing that to like sand, and there's one problem. Okay, so here I was just not writing that, I was writing in this crashness. So here I'll be copying this thing, then I'll be coming here, and then I'll be just moving here, pasting here. So when you've done that, just I'll be zooming out, so because it was just too much zooming. Then here I'll be just coming now, and here I'll be closing this crashnet.py file. Then here it is written send input equal, then I'll be just moving forward, changing that to C types, and here I'll be writing dot. And if I just move here, so you can see this then wind all. So here I'll be writing that, then I'll be writing this one thing like I'll be writing and here. So when you've done that, just I'll be doing one thing like coming here, write dot user 32, then I'll be writing dot again, then there is then like sand input. So here I'll be writing sand input, then I'll be raising this brackets here and coming underneath. So when you've done with that, here I'll be now writing w equal, and if I just come here, you can see this then 0 x11. Then if I just come here, so you can see there's then like capital A equal 0 x11. Then I'll be coming underneath, and you can see this then E. So here I'll be doing one thing now, just I'll be coming and you can see this then as D. So here I'll be writing S equal 0, and then I'll be just writing this X here, and here you don't have to just write that things, because here if you want to just write, you can write here. So when you've done that, just I'll be moving down enough, and then you can see this turn C, and if I just move forward, you can see this turn struct here. So here I have to do one thing like I'll be just moving here and writing read define. So here I'll be doing one thing now, here I'll be writing definitions, and when you've done with that, here I'll be just moving, and then I'll be doing one thing like here I'll be writing that to like PUL, and here when you've done with that, simply I'll be now writing C types. So here I'll be writing dot, and here I'll be just moving and changing that to like pointer. So just I'll be changing that to a tag which should be like pointer, and then I'll be writing this bracket here and changing that to like C types, and then I'll be writing dot and changing that to a tag which should be like C, and here I'll be doing one thing now, coming here and writing U long. So when you've done that, this I'll be coming underneath here again, changing that to a tag. First of all, here I'll be coming writing class equal, and here if I just come, you can see this done not equal, I'll be writing key, and here if I just come, you can see this done key bd input. So here I'll be writing, then I'll be writing this brackets here, then here I'll be just now coming and then writing that to like C types. So when you're done with that things here, now I'll be just coming and then I'll be doing one thing now. Here just I'll be writing C types again. Then here I'll be just doing one thing, I'll be writing dot, and here I'll be just changing that to like structure. So here when you've done that, just I'll be now coming here and you can see this then semicolon. So here I'll be simply writing that and coming underneath. Then after that there's then fields. So here I'll be writing that, writing this underscore again here. So when you've done with that, here I'll be coming writing equal, then here I'll be just writing a square bracket in that. Then you have to do one thing like write WPK like that. So when you've written that things, here I'll be now coming writing here like C types, and when you've done that, just I'll be moving here and you can see this then dot C, and here when you've done that, just I'll be writing U dot shots, and when you've done with that, here I'll be now coming and you can see this then simply like this thing. So here I'll be writing that, and there's then C U short. So here if I write that, so you can see now it is just good enough. So if I show you, okay, so we have to write short. So here I'll be writing that, write comma, and then you have to just come underneath here, and when you've done with that, here I'll be just moving and you can see there's then one thing like here I'll be now not coming, then I'll be writing this, and then I'll be just coming underneath like that, writing that to like another tag which should be like W scan. So here when you've done that, just I'll be now writing comma and moving forward, writing that to like C types, and here I'll be writing dot, and here if I just move, so you can see this then another tag which will be just like here you can see this, then C U short. So if I do that here, so you can see this, then U short again. So when you've done that, just I'll be now writing this like colon means this you can say comma, then I'll be just coming here and then I'll be just doing one thing like writing this brackets again means this, then I'll be writing TW flags, so just write that, then write comma again, then I'll be just moving forward and changing that to C types here, and then I'll be writing dot, and here I'll be just moving one thing like here I'll be just writing that to like C types which we have just already written. Now just change that to like C U, and here I'll be writing long. So when you've done with that, here I'll be now writing like this comma here again, then I'll be now changing that to like time. So just write that, then I'll be doing one thing like here I'll be now coming and you can see this, then C types here, and then I'll be writing that dot C, and I'll be writing underscore here, and you can see this, then U long again, then here I'll be writing comma, and then I'll be just coming underneath here changing that to like another tag which will be DW, and if I just come here you can see this, then extra info. So here if I move that, so here you have to do one thing now. For that I'll be writing that tag, write C types dot, and if I just move here so you can see this, then like simply things like that. Now you have to write PUL here. So when you've done with that, simply you have to do one thing, erase this C types because now it was just not written in that. And if I just move, so you can see now it is good here, so you can just move that things, and here I'll be doing one thing now coming underneath, and then I'll be just moving it back, and here there's written like class hardware input. So here I'll be doing one thing now, opening this file, then there's then like class PD input. So here I'll be doing one thing like I'll be just coming here writing here like class hardware, and when you've done that, just I'll be moving here again, then I'll be changing that to like input hardware input, then I'll be writing this brackets here and changing that to a tag which will be like C types dot, and here I'll be now coming and changing that to like dot structure. So when you're done with that, here I'll be doing one thing like writing this tag here, then in that I'll be just changing that to like first of all I'll be coming, and there's not thing like that, I'll be now writing this semicolon and coming underneath simply, then writing that like the fields, and here I'll be just now coming again changing that to equal, and then I'll be writing this square bracket and writing this, and then I'll be writing Q message, and here I'll be doing one thing like it should be just in small, then I'll be writing message simply like that. So when I'm done with that, here I'll be doing one thing like I'll be just coming here writing C types, and here we have done that. So here I'll be now coming again, then I'll be just changing to a tag which should be just first of all I'll be coming, and you can see this then dot C U long, then here when I'm done with that, here I'll be now coming and then I'll be writing this and then I'll be just coming underneath again, then you have to just go to press save all, and now when you're done with that, just you have to do another thing like so. Now here you can see we have just defined that all things. Now simply I'll be just moving to this file like direct keys.py which I was just writing with, and now we have to just link with that. So you can see we have just defined that. So here I'll be now coming and then writing this brackets here, and then here I'll be just doing one thing like moving to this file, then I'll be writing W, and here I'll be just writing P, and here I'll be just changing that to RML, then I'll be writing comma, then moving forward here, and then when you've done with that, here I'll be writing C types, and here I'll be just now writing dot, and then I'll be moving forward here, and now when you've done with that, I'll be just doing one thing like here I'll be now writing dot, and if I just move here, so you can see we have just defined that all things here. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing dot C short. So when you've done that all things, here I'll be writing comma and coming underneath here, and when you've done that, just I'll be doing one thing like writing this, and then I'll be writing this strings here and writing here like parent, and here when you've done that, just I'll be moving here and writing H. So when you've done that, I'll be writing comma, and if I just move here, so you can see you have to write C types dot C, and if I just come here, so you have to just write that to short. So just I'll be writing that again. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing comma again, then I'll be just moving here, and you can see now it is good. So when you've done with that, here I'll be just coming underneath, and then here I'll be doing one thing like here I'll be now coming underneath again here also, then I'll be writing class mouse, and here I'll be just doing one thing, here I'll be now writing mouse input. So here I'll be writing that, then here I'll be just coming after that, and then here I'll be changing that to like C types. So here I'll be writing that, writing dot, and here I'll be now coming and then writing that to like structure. So first of all I'll be now coming and then I'll be writing structure. So when you've done that, just I'll be first of all doing one thing, I'll be coming here, then I'll be just writing this colons here and coming underneath, writing here fields, and when you've done that, just I'll be now writing this underscore again, and I'll be writing equal to here. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing this square bracket in which I'll be writing this bracket. And then here when you've done with that things, here I'll be doing one thing, I'll be writing dx comma, then I'll be just moving forward here and changing that to like c types dot, and here I'll be just doing one thing, I'll be moving here, changing that to like c long. So here I'll be writing that. And now when you're done with that, here I'll be now coming underneath, and then I'll be just now first of all doing one thing like writing this comma here, and just I'll be now changing that to small l right here, simply like that. So just erase that all things. Now I will be just coming here, writing this brackets here, and then here if I just come, so here you have to just write dy comma c types dot, and here I'll be writing c underscore, and here I'll be changing that to long. So just write that here. So when you've done with that, write comma and come underneath, and you can see there we have to just write mouse data. So just write here mouse data, then I'll be writing comma c types, and just I'll be writing that to a tag which should be like dot c, and I'll be just writing underscore here, changing that to cu long. And when you've done with that, here I'll be now coming underneath here and writing this brackets and just writing this colons in that, writing dw flags. And when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing that. So you have to do one thing, write comma here, and then going after I'll be just writing c types here. And when you've done that, just I'll be writing dot. And if I just move here, before that I'll be coming here, then if I just move, so you can see this done c u long. So here I'll be writing that to like c u long. Then here I'll be writing comma again and coming underneath, changing that to like time. So here when you've done that, write comma again, write c types here and write dot c, and then I'll be writing underscore here, and I'll be just changing that to like u long. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing comma and coming underneath here, and I'll be changing that to like dw extra info. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing comma here, and then I'll be just coming here again, then I'll be writing pul. So when you've done with that, here now I'll be doing one thing like I'll be just coming underneath, and here I'll be just moving, and you can see we have just defined that things. So here when you've done with that, here I'll be now coming underneath that, and then I'll be writing class input, and here I'll be just doing one thing again, like here I'll be coming, but before that I'll be pressing enter again, so it should be just in another line. Then I'll be just giving gap here. Okay, so when you've done with that, here I'll be just now coming, and then here I'll be doing one thing like I'll be writing underscore here, then I'll be changing that to I. So here I'll be writing that. So when you've done with that thing, here I'll be doing one thing, I'll be writing equal to here, and you can see this, then simply write capital I, then in that I'll be writing brackets, and here I'll be just coming writing c types dot. So here I'll be writing that dot, and here I'll be just now coming changing that to like union. So when you've done with that, here I'll be just coming now, and then here I'll be just pressing that again. Now when you've done that, just I'll be now coming underneath here, and then I'll be changing that to a tag which will be like fields. So here I'll be writing that, then I'll be writing equal to here. So when you've done with that, here I'll be now coming, changing that to this square bracket and writing this bracket here. So when you've done with that, here I'll be now writing type. So when you've done with that, simply I'll be writing this means this like comma here, then I'll be just moving forward here and changing that to a tag which should be like c types, just write that. Now if I just move here, so you can see we have just written like, we don't have to just write these things there, and I'll be just now coming here, and you can see there it is written like key. So here I'll be writing that, then I'll be writing comma and moving forward, and you can see there is then after that like key bd input. So we have to just write that, write comma again and come underneath. Then here we are just having another bracket, so here you have to just make in which I'll be writing I mi, then I'll be just moving and writing this, then write here like mouse input. So just write here mouse input which is in last, then write comma and come underneath, write this here, and then I'll be just writing this brackets here, and now here I'll be writing hi, then I'll be writing comma here, and if I just move forward, you have to just write hardware. So just write hardware input. So when you've done with that, here now I'll be just coming underneath, and when you've done that, just I'll be now writing that to a tag which will be just like class input. So here I'll be writing that, and when you've done that, just I'll be now writing this, and here I'll be writing c types. So here I'll be writing that dot, and when you've done with that, here I'll be now changing that to structure. So just I'll be going here, then here I'll be writing that to structure, and when you've done with that, here I'll be now coming, and then when you've done that, just I'll be doing one thing again, like here I'll be now writing this semicolon and coming underneath, and here we have to just do one thing. We have to just write structure, so we have to just write it correctly. So here now it is done. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be pressing backspace and coming underneath again, and then you can see there's done like fields. So here I'll be writing that simply like that, and here I'll be closing, writing equal to here. So when you've done that, just I'll be moving here and then writing the square bracket. In that I'll be writing type, writing comma here, and when you've done that, just I'll be moving forward, and then here when you've done with that, here I'll be now writing C types, and here I'll be doing one thing now. Just I'll be moving here, and you can see this, then C U long, then here I'll be writing this brackets here, means starting brackets. Here I'll be now closing that because we are not getting these brackets. Now I'll be writing comma and coming underneath, writing this bracket here in which I'll be writing I, then I'll be writing comma here. After that I'll be writing that to like input underscore I. So when you've done with that here, now when you've done that all things, here I'll be doing one thing now. Just you have to come underneath, and you can see we are just getting these things. So here I'll be now doing one thing, coming here again, then here I'll be also just coming underneath, changing that to like actual. So here this done actual, and if I just move forward, so you can see this done actual function. So here I'll be also writing, so you have to just come underneath here and changing that to like def, means define. So here I'll be writing press key. So here when you've done that, just I'll be writing this brackets here and writing that to like hex key, and if I just move here, so you can see this done hex key code, hex key code. So when you've done that, just I'll be writing this all in here and coming underneath, changing that to like extra equal, and then I'll be just moving forward, and you can see this done like C types. So here I'll be writing, so here you have to just write dots, and here I'll be writing that to like C U long, and when you've done that, just I'll be doing one thing, like I'll be writing this brackets here, and then I'll be writing 0. So when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath, writing I equal inputs. So here I'll be writing that. So when you've done with that, here now I'll be just coming, writing this brackets here, and when you've done that, just I'll be coming underneath now, and when you've done with that, here I'll be writing I dot AI, and when you've done with that, here I'll be now doing one thing. First of all, I'll be now coming, writing dot AI. So when you've done that, just I'll be now writing this brackets here. Okay, so there is not any bracket, there is key BD input, which we have to just define. So when you define that, just write 0 comma, then I'll be moving forward here and change that to like hex key code, and when you've done with that, here I'll be now coming, writing that to like 0 x800, and when you've done with that, here we have to just write 008. So when you've done with that things, here I'll be writing 0 C types, and when you've done with that things, here I'll be doing first of all one thing, like I'll be going to this directory keys, and you have to write dot pointer, and just write this like brackets here and change that to like extra, and you've done with that things, here I'll be now coming underneath, then I'll be now changing that to attack, which should be x equal input, then here I'll be now writing this brackets here, and simply when you've done that, just I'll be writing C types. So just I'll be writing that, and when you've done with that, simply I'll be now doing one thing, like I'll be going to this directory key, then I'll be writing dot C U long, then here I'll be now writing this brackets here, and when you've done that, in which I'll be writing here like that, and I'll be writing comma I. So when you've done that all things, now you have to just write this underscore. So now it is done. You have to save, and when you will be running that, so your predictive analysis project should be just ready, and you can just check that out also. So you have to also install this dependencies. Just you can write pip install TensorFlow, which should be just install, and this model last one dependencies will be also installed automatically. So like that you can just work with. So like that you can just make your own predictive analysis project in Python in data sciences, and I hope you also enjoyed this project of data sciences like your general previous project of data sciences and AI. Just practice at all project we are working with, and just add your own features and quality from which your practice will be good, and you will be also good at these languages which we'll be working with in future and which we are working previously. And I've just already also uploaded some of the other tutorials of JavaScript, React. You can check that out, and I've also uploaded some of the project clones, and I will be also uploading some of the clones like few days, so it will be really helpful for you. Like now, then the next one should be like iMessage clone, which I'll be uploading, and I hope you'll enjoy that also. So just I'll be meeting you in next project. So for today, good bye.